What's going on, people? What's going on, people? I'm back with another video, and today we're gonna go over an in-depth version of the Inmotion P6. I read a lot of y'all comments, and I know I made some mistakes, so we're gonna do it over again. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do an in-depth dive on the Inmotion P6. We're going to look at everything that the Inmotion P6 is offering. We're going to correct everything so everybody knows what they're getting if they order the Inmotion P6. Let's take a look at it. So right now I'm on the official website of the Inmotion P6. We're here on the official website on inmotionworld.com. This is the Inmotion P6 right here. And this is how you can get to place your order for the Inmotion P6. You see that the price is here, so it's confirmed and verified that the price is $4,999, 5K. You got options like Klarna if you want. If you can do that, you got the option to pay in that way. But really, what we need to do is we need to look at all the full details, because I kind of said a little bit of a few things that were inaccurate, so I'm gonna correct my wrongs. Let's do that. So, and this is basically on the specs and the details, right? So, I said that the Inmotion P6 can go like 60 to 70 miles per hour. But if we look here on the page, it says that the Inmotion P6 has a 93 miles per hour top speed, right? It accelerates from 0 to 30 miles per hour in just 1.9 seconds, making it the fastest electric unicycle. So there you have it. So the Inmotion P6, so it's not 60 and 70. It's actually a 93 miles per hour capable wheel. So that's way beyond the numbers that I said. So let's correct that. It's a 93 miles per hour electric unicycle that's capable. As far as the lift speed, I don't have that footage to show the lift speed, but I did see in the comment section a lot of y'all said that it goes like 220 or 135 miles per hour, 220 kilometers per hour in the conversion. So that's what the chat is saying. Thanks for y'all for pointing that out. So now we know that the P6 is a 93 miles per hour wheel. Now we know what we're truly dealing with, right? Also, now let's get back to the other specs. I did say it was a 235 volt high voltage wheel. I did say that was confirmed, so that stuff was accurate, right? So we dealing with a 93 miles per hour top speed wheel, a 235 volt system, and it has the peak power of 20,000 kilowatts, or 20 kilowatts, which is 20,000, right? I believe, setting the standard for high voltage EUCs. I mentioned about the 90 millimeters hydraulic suspension. Remember, I told you it was just like the Sherman S, same kind of thing, but they got the Inmotion style suspension in there. So that was a fact and very accurate, right? And also, it said something about customizable ride, right? So the P6 is offering you to be able to adjust the pedals, the acceleration, the braking, and turning through the Inmotion app to tailor your ride to your style and terrain. And that's the feature I was explaining to you guys. You can actually customize how you're riding and set it apart from other wheels. Also, it has the Inmotion IoT system. It has real-time GPS tracking, anti-theft, remote control, ride history, route recording, and 24/7 protection and alerts. I would like to know more about that, but it sounds intriguing, right? And right now, if you order the wheel, you're getting some warranties. There are some warranties. If you look right there in the picture, you see it's showing that you got a extended 1-year warranty, 14 amp fast charger, a seat, and a 1-year Ride Connect access. So that's what you're getting if you place the order on the wheel. This is the Inmotion P6 currently, and it looks like those pads. It does look like the Grizzly pads. I don't know if Inmotion got their own type, but those look like those new Grizzly pads. So if you want to make a payment, you can make the full payment of 5,000 here, or you could put a deposit of 1,000 and complete the rest. But guys, this is the Inmotion P6. I'm trying to go into more specs, but they're not really giving me much more details than this here on the official site. But I did say it was 116 pounds, and then I think somebody in the chat said it's 112. So we're gonna have to fact check that another time, because I don't see that here. But this is what we're dealing with right here. Powered by 235 volts, built to ride, unmatched performance. You got it's a long range wheel. You know, they're saying that the thing has crazy instant acceleration, which is off the wall. You know, a lot of wheels have that, but I'm guessing this is doing it even better with that high voltage. It's probably insane. And then you got a lot of range. It says you get about 93 miles, and they also found a way to change the energy consumption. So, you know, the V13 was their past hyper wheel that was plagued with a lot of discharge. The discharge is a lot. So they improved it on this system now. So now the P6, you're getting a better experience, more range, supposedly. We got to do the range test to see that in real time to see if it's really true. But yeah, we've hit a new era of high voltage wheels. You know, we're now in the 235 volt high voltage era. You know, gone are the 176 volt days, gone are the 200 volt days. We've been 235, baby. New heights. We in new heights. We got the automotive, self-developed automotive grade battery. They said they use a Tesla grade battery framework with all this stuff, BMU, BCU, triple control system with the BMS and stuff like that. So they got some kind of Tesla technology going on in the wheel, which is state-of-the-art stuff. So this is also solid. I know some people are really fascinated by that. And we're getting 4,200 watt hour packs. So we don't want to hear, oh, it doesn't have enough battery, because it has more than enough battery in this wheel to really support a high performance ride. And you got that fast charging. You know, it says the standard charging is 5 amps, and if you get the optional 14 amp charger, you could charge it in 1 hour to 80%. That's probably going to be extra. I'm not too sure. We got the next gen silicon carbide controller. So they upgraded their controller, and this does look like some new generational technology stuff is going on inside. I mean, if you're running a high voltage system, you're gonna definitely need some good cooling and a good controller to hold all these loads and all the torquing and all of that. So that's dope. Would love to see that in the real world, especially for NYC. NYC is an area that has varied road conditions, a lot of different situations. It's not just flat roads. So would love to see how this wheel, how it takes the NYC roads, if it keeps up and if it manages. That's going to be insane. But that 235 volt performance is probably going to be sick. All of this we already seen here. We got it got fans, and it has a copper vapor chamber that's sitting directly beneath the control board, pulling heat away and channeling into external heat sink. So that's pretty good. So that's really good to have both forms of cooling. And we're getting it says it has a high performance BLDC motor, delivering up to 6 kilowatt of continuous power, 6 kilowatts and 20 kilowatts of peak power. And is this wait up here, is this a 20,000 watt motor? Hold on, what's going on here? Is this a 20,000 watt motor that I'm looking at here? Whoa, 20,000 watt motor. That's insane. That if this is a 20,000 watt motor, it's pretty insane. This is definitely a new level for EUCs. This is a 20,000 watt motor for real. If this is really for real and not just marketing. So yeah, this is really a top of the line wheel right now. This is really the wheel to that you need to pay attention to it. And if these numbers are real and it's really like based on those videos, yeah, I'm excited because can't wait to see these on the streets. So also it's saying you can change the pedal settings to match your style. Your pedal feel precisely calibrated. See, and I did talk about this earlier. It said you can make the P6 ride exactly how you want. I know other wheels like Leaper Kim, they can change like the pedal stiffness, or certain modes you could change the percentage of the pedal stiffness. But I'm pretty sure that this is something more specific. This is definitely something. I think this is a little bit more specific. And you guys already know about Ride Connect. We got the LCD screen. It has an automotive grade 4.3 inch LCD screen. And you can adjust the ride modes, monitor the stats, and customize things on the fly, just like the V13, but this looks like it's more refined. It has a tire pressure monitoring system, so that's pretty good, just like a car. With the car, you have the tire pressure system, so like you get notified if your tire pressure is low, so you can decrease the risk of getting a flat. So that's really good. Overall, I would say this wheel is pretty solid, pretty darn solid. Pretty solid. I like the features that they're really pushing out there. Here goes the spec sheet. I found at the bottom of the page, showing the top speed, the tire size, the brake lights, the range, the charge time, the hill climb angle, the battery capacity, the max load 309 pounds, rated power 60,000 watts, max power 20,000 watts. That's insane. Oh, here goes net weight. Net weight, there it is. Okay, so in the specs section is showing the weight of 112 pounds. So there's a 112 pound wheel, guys. There it is. Suspension travel 90 millimeters, an IPX6 rating. It has headlights showing the charger details and the dimensions. So yeah, we're looking at a powerhouse EUC right here, guys. We're looking at a powerhouse EUC. Pretty darn powerful for EUC. I just can't even believe the numbers that I'm seeing. I can't believe those numbers. 20,000 watts, 60,000 watts max power. Like, you can pull it all the way to 60,000. Is insane. But yeah. All right, so this is for everybody who keeps talking about speakers and how speakers shouldn't be connected to the wheel and that is taken away. Just want to show y'all my setup that I have on my wheels currently, right? So let's take a look. All right, someone mentioned something about JBLs. This is my JBL right here. This is the Charge 5, I believe. JBL Charge 5. How I usually ride with it, it's not the biggest one, but it's big enough and loud enough, right? So how I usually rock it, I wear it over my body like this. So it has a nice little strap, and I'm rocking the music, and I got it literally on my body. So if I do want a lot of music, I can blast it, and it works well. But problem that I realize is that it just gets in the way of all my other gear that I have. Like, after I have all my other gear, I don't really want this on my body anymore, because and I move around a lot, like when I have all my stuff on. So with this big speaker like this, right, JBL Charge, I can wrap it on the wheel, right? But then when I wrap it on the wheel, or let's say I mount it on the wheel, if I'm putting it into the car or mounting it and loading it into a vehicle, it also gets in the way. The speaker, no matter where I mount it on the wheel, it's gonna get in the way. That's why I'm saying I like when certain things are integrated into the wheel, because if the speaker module is integrated in the wheel, and I'm not even saying I need this much amount of speaker in the wheel, something slightly more smaller and compact, or just a module that connects to it, that's a part of it, is just gonna make the experience much better, and then who wouldn't want to have an experience like that? I know I'm all for that. So I've also had wheels in the past, and it's mostly about, my conversation is mostly about features that we had in the past, and then they're slowly removing those features. That's what I realized, being that I've been riding wheels forever. So my argument still stands strong when it comes to that, because 6 to 8 years ago, Wheels came with that. They came standard with speakers because that was that kind of time. I would say yes, it makes sense for a race wheel to not have speakers. Yes, it makes sense. But I feel like they need to have some form of audible alerts. There need to be some form of speakers in the wheel in order to either remind you about something, to alert you about something, or to like beep you about something. So that's really, and not just from a beeper. I feel like it's like old tech. We need to get into the audible era of alerts because it's safer. You need to have speakers in the wheel, whether the wheel is telling you maybe your wheel is overheating, or maybe you're overcharging. And Inmotion has had those features in their past wheels. So I feel like we need to keep the pattern, keep it going, when it comes to those trends. Let me show you another setup that I have. Let me show you some more setups that I have for speakers. So let me inform y'all and educate y'all. And I know all about speaker setups. Let me show y'all. All right, so this is the Sherman S right here, right? If you take a look, you see that this is the Sherman S, right? And what do you see here? If you look at the Sherman S, you see, look right here. You see this right here? This is the speaker that I have mounted to the actual Sherman S. Check it out. I just turn it on. Just like that. Boom. Hold on. And now you see that the way how I mounted it onto the wheel, and it's right, I mounted it onto the seat. And this is the Sherman S. And look how easy it comes off. If I want to take off the speaker, it's just a simple little mod I did for the Sherman S to give it music. It doesn't come with audio. I did my own little thing. And to mount it back on, I just press it in. And I got speakers on my Sherman S just like that. Just that little simple mod. And it really just goes far because as I'm riding now, and I got the heavy duty Velcro, so this ain't going nowhere. It don't matter if I go on jumps, whatever, this ain't coming off, trust me. And there goes my other mod that I have. So you got that one speaker mod, so I got music all the time for this. This is like a JBL clip, actually, like a JBL clip 3. Take a look at the Sherman Max. Right here on the Sherman Max, right here, just turn this on.
Bluetooth mode.
I kind of Velcroed it. So it's pretty much kind of Velcroed in. And, I could kind of change the modes up and stuff. And these is also speakers too. So I got, this is for the Sherman Max. So as I'm riding now, you got the music playback. Those are my little speaker mods that I have for the wheel. So now you guys see that, I got wheels with speakers. So I'm very familiar with how to modify your wheel to put speakers on them. But do you see how like gimmicky it looks though? Let's say, for example, let's say the speakers are actually integrated into the wheel. It'll be so much smoother, and it wouldn't even take up that much space. Because if you were to take the speakers out of this and put it into this, it would be maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit bigger, or you would maybe a little bit longer, just a little bit. But it wouldn't take away from the actual experience of the wheel. And it's not like they can't manage the weight. So as you can see, I got speaker setups on both my wheels. And I'm very content with them too. But I feel like the companies like this is something that the companies need to integrate. I got the horn mod for sound, and I put speakers on it. And it doesn't look too crazy. Like it's not even noticeable. It actually goes with the theme. So this is the in-depth overview of the Inmotion P6. You can check it out on emotionworld.com. Like I said before, this is me going over and fact checking everything on the official website. If you want to see it for yourself, you can check it out right there, emotionworld.com. And if you want to see more videos and more EUC content, don't forget to follow this page. But we're gonna bring it anyway. So I will see y'all in the next video, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.